Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Hanno Virtual Events. Today's session will be Prep to Rank. Let us help you prepare with EPCC's Prep program, presented by Prep Student Advisor Pablo Rivera. This session will be recorded so that you may come back to it later if you need, and so others who may have missed out on today's events will be able to come and watch it. Thank you. So now, at this time, please mute your mics for the best sound experience. Otherwise, the feedback could interfere with information we will be sharing today. Without further ado, here's Mr. Rivera.
Thank you, Gemma, for the introduction, and welcome everybody. My name is Pablo Rivera. As Gemma mentioned, I am a prep program student advisor, and today we're going to focus on a little bit on prepping to rank, for the health occupation students, and also, for the nursing students who are preparing for the TS exam, or the health occupation students who are preparing for the TSI. And so I hope that you all enjoy the presentation. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. I see that we already have somebody raising their hand. Carlos, do you have a question?
No, I'm sorry, I accidentally clicked it.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so the PrEP program, let me give you a little bit of background on the PrEP program. The PrEP program started as a federally funded program back in 2002 or 2001, I believe. A while back, I started with the Title V in 2003. And, we were focusing on helping students, retake the TSI. At that time, it wasn't the TSI. The placement test was called the AccuPlacer test. And the majority of the students were not aware that they could retake the placement test. They thought that once you took the placement test and placed into whatever course you placed into, you were stuck with that. And a lot of students were discouraged, because they really didn't prepare for that type of exam, and they were sent back to remediation courses. And they would have sometimes they would have to take 3 courses to get their first college course, and so that discouraged a lot of students. And so we tried to encourage students to retake the TSI, and the numbers for the testing services center were really impacted because of our efforts. A lot of students were retesting, a lot of students were retaking the TSI so that they could move into college level courses. And so that, that work and those efforts made the Title V program earn the Texas Star Award, which is given to programs that make a significant impact in higher education in Texas. So that is something that we all like to brag about, is that our efforts won us an award in our early stages. And so without further ado, I'm going to tell you what we do now. And so we prepare students to take the TSI primarily. Whether the student is taking the TSI for the first time. Many dual credit students are testing in middle school, and so we prepare them for that. And also a lot of high school students who need to take the TSI have contacted us so that we can help them with that also. Okay, the TSI has been reformatted, it has been reworked, and now it's called the TSIA 2 assessment. And there's also another assessment that prospective nursing students take, and that's the TEAS, the TEAS exam. And we also help students who are having a little bit of a hard time in their classroom courses, and we also provide supplemental courses, mainly for the math and the English courses. What we offer diagnostic assessments. Those assessments are encouraged for all students who have been away from school for a while. Mainly students who have been away for 3 or more years. We encourage them to take a diagnostic assessment, and those diagnostic assessments will let us know what the student needs to review and what they need to concentrate on. Then after the diagnostic assessment, then we give them access to the Edgenuity courseware. The Edgenuity courseware, what it is an online courseware that we developed, following the guidelines of the TSIA 2. The content area, we followed those guidelines and we developed these courses as a team. The prep advisors worked very hard in doing that, and I think that we came out with a very good review of the TSIA 2. In addition to the online courseware that is available 24/7, it's online based. We have the TEAS and TSIA 2 boot camps. Now, those boot camps are offered every semester, and they are taught by EPCC faculty who are experts in their fields. Now, the key here is that all the resources are free. Okay, so the diagnostic assessments. Okay, now the diagnostic assessment, it is what it is. It's a diagnostic. It's a practice assessment that helps, helps us, the prep program student advisors gather information about the strengths and weaknesses of the student taking that. And they're offered for both math and reading. There's 24 multiple choice questions per subject, and the results are available immediately. As soon as the student submits their answers, we get a results page, and we help. It helps us customize the lessons in Edgenuity. For example, a student that is proficient in algebra will probably knock down about 10 hours of instruction on the online tutorials of algebra that they don't need. So the diagnostics are highly encouraged so that students can shorten their tutorial time on the online courseware in Edgenuity. It is not a pass or fail assessment. Okay, it is just an assessment to see where you're at, to see what you need to review, and to see what you're proficient in already, so that you don't have to waste any time on something that you already know. It's available online, and you can take it at any time. It is available on our page in the main EPCC webpage. If you go under Services and then Prep, you can click on the Diagnostic Assessments link, and you can access the math or the reading assessments. However, the student does not get the results right away. Those have to be interpreted by a program student advisor, by one of us. And so when the student completes the assessment, they are encouraged to let us know that they have completed it so that we can print out the results and then interpret those results with the student and prescribe the tutorials as they fit. Any questions so far on that? Nothing? Okay. Now, here's some sample questions. We're not gonna, solve them. We're not gonna go over them. But, the sample questions are, there so that you can see. Now, these questions were developed, following the guidelines of the Higher Education Coordinating Board and the TSIA 2. And so what you see here is more than likely what you're going to see when you take the TSI. Not the exact same questions, but the concepts are going to be the same. And so, for example, on the math, you are going to get, some algebra, you are going to get some geometry, some proportions, so you are going to get what the TSI is going to be testing you on. Same thing for the reading and the writing. You're going to read some passages and then answer questions based on that passage. You're going to fill in the blanks. You're going to do some grammar, all that. Okay, now Edgenuity. Edgenuity is our online courseware that we use so that students can review their weaknesses. The Edgenuity has direct instruction videos, and they feature instructors, teachers, who explain the concepts. They give you examples. They give you some interactive tasks, and there's a lot of demonstrations, a lot of problem-solving strategies and procedures. It's like, watching an instructor in class explaining to you how to do the work. Okay. After the instruction, you get some assignments, and during those assignments, you get to practice, what you've learned by watching the videos and practicing with the instructor. And then at the end, you get an assessment. You get a quiz. Now, in these assessments, students have a couple of chances to pass the assessment. We have a very high, score, to pass. And that's an 85%, because the assessments are only 10 questions each. And so if you are at 85%, that means that you can only miss one question. If you miss two, then you're at 80%. And so, we try to encourage, students to try to get, 9 or 10, a perfect score on each quiz, because that means that the student is ready, for the TSI. They know the material. In the case that a student does not pass the assessments, the first or second time. Let's say, for example, the first time they were a little bit confused and they got a 60. Second time around, they did a little bit better, but they still got a 70. We can assign more assessments, for the student to keep on practicing. But more than likely, we'll tell the student, go ahead and take the two assessments. And if you don't feel confident, then you're always welcome to go ahead and contact the Tutorial Services Center, to make those, concepts a little bit, clearer. Whether you come in person to the Tutorial Services Center or whether you log in online, maybe another set of eyes can help you understand the concepts a little bit better. So, with student success, with the Department of Student Success, we work in conjunction with all our partners so that the student gets a great review and great experience. Okay, now the Edgenuity courseware is available 24/7. It is online based, so the students can access that at any time. And it's available in almost any platform. If you have a laptop, if you have a computer, if you have a cell phone, you can access those tutorials. However, the only thing that I discourage students who are working on their math is to access that on a cell phone, because the screen is so small and the numbers are very small. I mean, for me, I'm going blind, and when I open up the tutorials on my cell phone, I need a magnifying glass. I mean, that's so it's better to use a laptop or a tablet, a big enough screen so that you can see what you're doing. Anywhere where the internet is available, they can access that, and each student can work at their own pace. We have students who review for 1 week. We have students who review for an entire semester. That's up to each student. We try to encourage the students to, finish the review in a couple of weeks so that they can test, and if needed, they can retest again within the same semester. We understand that life is going on around us, and you may be a working parent, you may be a full-time student and a full-time employee, and there's not a lot of time to dedicate to the Edgenuity courseware. Then you can pace yourself and take it easy and use the tutorials sparingly, but on a regular basis. Okay, now students who use Edgenuity, who uses this? Well, students who are pre-testing. A lot of our dual credit partners out there in the school districts, they assign the Edgenuity to their students so that they can prepare, for the TSI for the first time. And a lot of these students are middle school students, um, graduating high school seniors who probably did not pass the TSI when they were in school. They can take it with us. They can review Edgenuity with us during the summer and be ready for college level courses in the fall. Retesters, returning students with previous placement scores, returning students that have been away from school for a while. For example, this spring we had a lot of returning students who, because of the pandemic, did not continue with their education, and so they came back and they needed to review, and try to get ahead and place into college level courses. And then these students are our specialty, the ranking, students, the health occupation students, the physical therapy assistants, the dental hygienists, the sonographers, all those students who are going into health occupations, they need to take the TSI, not for placement, but they're taking it for ranking, and ranking is a competitive process. So that means that even if you get a very good score and you get into college level, you are competing with other students who are on the same boat, and you're competing with students who may get better scores than you, and they have an edge in ranking over you. So this places a lot of importance on the TSI, so that you get the best score, and you can rank into your program. The nursing students who are taking the TEAS exam or the HESI exam, we help the students with the TEAS. We have TEAS online tutorials available, and also the boot camps. The HESI is very similar, to the TEAS, and we have a study guide. Every campus comes with a hard copy of the HESI study guide that we let students check out in the lab and use it as a review. But we don't have per se HESI specific tutorials. So a lot of the students who are taking the HESI are encouraged to review the TEAS tutorials online. Okay, programs with special admission, the fire technology, the cosmetology, sign language, the law enforcement training academy, those require the students to pass the reading section of the TSI in order to enroll into those programs. We help the students too. Okay, supplemental courses, students who are currently enrolled in a course and they feel they need a little bit of more instruction, supplemental, to the course that they're taking. We have supplemental courses, especially in the math, but we also have them in the reading and the writing. Okay, and again, let me just remind you that these services are free. Okay, now the material that's going to be tested on, that the student is going to be tested on in the TSIA 2. For the math, you're looking at quantitative reasoning, algebraic reasoning, geometric and spatial reasoning, and probabilities and statistics. The old TSI used to be very heavy on algebra, but the new TSI is more balanced. And so you are going to see a little bit more geometry and a little bit more probabilities and statistics in the new TSI. In the English language arts and reading, the ELAR, the new TSI did away with the separate writing and reading tests. Now it's all just one section, the ELAR, but it does measure the reading and the writing. And you will be tested, the student will be tested in literary text analysis, informational text analysis and synthesis, like putting stuff into your own words, essay revision and editing, and sentence revision, editing, and completion. And so, with that one test, the TSIA2 can assess, where the student is going to place in both the reading and the writing. Now, for the T's consists of 7 areas: the English, the reading, and the math. The T's does have the English and the reading separate, and then the life sciences. So there's 7 courses that the student needs to review in order to prepare for the T's. The life science, contains the cell structure, evolution, genetics, and then anatomy and physiology. That's for students who are preparing for the T's, and even if they're preparing for the HESI, we encourage the students to review that material because it's very similar. The supplemental course material, you see that we have NCBM and INRW developmental courses available. We have some GED courses. We have some college level courses in the supplemental, which are the Math 1314 and 1324. And then that electrical program course, that is a custom course that was developed for the ATC, the Advanced Technology Center, for the electrical program students. And so if you would like to develop a course, that is custom to your students, to your class, contact any prep program advisor, and we can help you develop something, for you. And as an instructor, you have the access to that material, so that you see what your students are reviewing, are going to be using. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, when the students, come to us and they request access to the Edgenuity tutorials, we create an account for them in Banner and in Edgenuity so that they can access the tutorials. The access is granted after a student is able to watch an online video that's an introduction, an orientation to the use of Edgenuity. And so when the student logs in, they get a username and they get a password, and they can log in. They watch a video. It's about 7-8 minutes long, telling them how to use the tutorials, how to access, the glossary and all the tools available there. And after they, watch that video, they can have access to all the tutorials that were assigned to them. And if we have time, Patricia, I would like to share my screen so that I can show our attendees, the student interface of Edgenuity.
Yes, sir. TVs are an hour long, so you have the full hour to share whatever you'd like.
So I have time to tell jokes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can practice my stand-up act. Okay, so let's do that. Let's share the screen with all of you. Okay, and so here is the student login interface, for Edgenuity. The student gets a link that they click on, and it takes them to this screen right here. And so the username is going to be assigned to every student. That is my username, and then I type in my password and log in. And so as a student, I have these courses that are available to me. Okay, I have the Math 305 supplemental, which was, the old Math 305 Algebra 1. The Math 1314 NCBM 0114 supplemental. This one is very popular, the EPCC Prep Pre-Algebra Basics, especially with our student population who have been away from school for a while. This is a very good review of all the pre-algebra concepts, solving for x and linear equations and all that. And then I have all the ATIT's courses. Okay, this EPCC ESL Bridge, okay, this was a custom course that was developed for Ms. Minjares' class in the fall of 2020, and I assigned it to myself. And then we have, the TSIA2 ELAR content, the TSIA2 math, and then this one is a work in progress that I assigned to myself. It's already completed, so it's part of the ELAR. But this was something that I assigned to myself, as an exam only. And then, so the student can access any of the assigned courses to them. And what we usually recommend the student do to save time is to click on the name of the course itself and not on the next activity. If they click on the next activity button, that'll take them from the very first activity and then go, in a sequence. If they access through the name by clicking on the name of the course, it'll take them to a course map where they can choose freely what they want to review. So let me click on that one. Let me click on the pre-algebra basics. Okay, and so you see here that the first unit is number sense, and it gives you an introduction to integers, decimals, and fractions. The first section is adding integers, and so there's a warm-up for the lesson. There's some instruction, that includes some videos. There's a summary, there's an assignment, and then there's a quiz. And so if you notice that, almost every section is going to have that, the warm-up, the instruction, the assignment. There's another instruction here on the subtracting integers, another summary, and then assignment. So all of them are going to have something like that. So let's click on the warm-up for the adding and subtracting decimals. Can you all hear the?
We cannot hear it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Maybe click on the closed captioning. At least we can hear what she's saying.
Let me see. There we go. So as you can see, this is a very thorough, warm-up. It's okay. So as you can see, this is very thorough, and the student does get a very thorough instruction and review. Unfortunately, a lot of students, want to review 3-4 years of math in a week, and that's impossible unless you're doing this, full time, 40 hours a week. Then you might be able to do this. But if you're a working parent, if you're a working student, and you don't have but more than 1 or 2 hours a day to review, then it's going to take you longer. It's going to take you a few weeks to review the whole thing. And so that's why the diagnostic assessment is very important for our students, because that will shorten the instruction. If you don't need to review basic algebra, then that is taken off your prescription of your lessons. Okay, so let me stop sharing this now, and we're back at our presentation. Okay, so that was a live sample of Edgenuity, what it is. So the course modules, the student gets a grade after they complete the lessons, after they complete the quizzes. You get your progress grade for that particular lesson. Okay, as I explained earlier, the course map gives you a shortcut of what you want to review, what you want to do. Now, one of the the advice that we give students is, if you want to shorten it, and you don't want to waste time on reviewing the instruction or the assignments, is do the quiz first. For any section, do the quiz first, and especially for the math. And if you do well, if you get an 85 or better on the quiz, then there's no need for you to go back and review the instruction. Now, that's very hard to do with in English or a reading course, because in order for you to answer the questions on the quiz, you would have to read the passages first. And so, but for the math, yeah, we do encourage the students to do the quiz first, and if they get a good grade, then they don't go back to the instruction or the assignments. Okay, now the student counts with a lot of tools inside Edgenuity. They have a glossary of terms, they have a dictionary, they have a highlighter where they can highlight specific sections of a passage, and that helps the student answer the questions later, during the quiz or during the assignment questions. And so these tools are very helpful for the student, and I've seen a lot of students use them. For the math, you have your calculator tool, you have your standard calculator, your graphing calculator, you have the matrices, functions there, and the statistics, you have pie charts and all, and graphs and all that, so those tools are available, for the student. The student doesn't even need a calculator, a handheld calculator to do the work. That it's there for them on the screen. Okay, you have your e-notes. You can type in your own notes to refer to at the end of each section. And so, for example, if there's a concept that you are a little shaky on, you can make a note of that, and then log into tutorial services and ask your questions there. You have a glossary of terms, and then you have the transcript. The transcript tells you exactly what the video said during the lessons, during the instruction. So that transcript can be printed out, and the student can follow along with that. Okay, and then the Edgenuity quiz. Like I said before, each student has 2 chances to pass the quiz. And so if they don't pass it with an 85 or better the first attempt, then they can always go back and review. They can see what they got wrong, which questions they got wrong, and which questions they got right. So if needed, they only go back to review, what they got wrong, one more time, and then they can take a retake again, if the student wants more retakes, we can assign more retakes, as needed. However, I mean, we're not going to give a student 100 retakes, for a concept. But by the third or fourth time that the student takes a quiz, they should be able to pass. And if they don't pass, then it is advisable that the student take the class that they place into, whether it's a developmental course or a core requisite, that they need to brush up on their skills with the proper instruction, with an instructor that's teaching that course and guiding them. Any questions so far? We're good? Okay. Okay, and so the student can see their progress as they go along the review. And so, they can see, how much they've completed, the percentage of the course they have completed, and then their overall grade, how they're doing. And so, for students to see, that progress as they go along is very important, because, that can, tell the student that, hey, maybe you need additional help for that. Maybe you need to sit down with a tutor, a one-on-one session, or log in and have these concepts clarified, and get that assistance. Okay, now the boot camps. This is something that's very popular. This is something that even, as a matter of fact, I had a call from a parent whose daughter was trying to get assistance for the HESI exam, and she wanted to attend one of our TEAS boot camps. And so, the only thing is that, they're not HESI boot camps, they're TEAS boot camps. And those TEAS boot camps are very popular. They usually fill up pretty fast, because all of the nursing students who are trying to rank into that program benefit, from that one-on-one instruction from our faculty. And so those boot camps are very, very popular. And so the boot camps, they're taught by EPCC faculty. For example, the math faculty, who are experts in their field, they're teaching the TEAS math. The biology and chemistry faculty, they teach the biology and chemistry boot camps, and so forth. English and reading faculty, they teach their respective boot camps, and they have been very successful. And the success rate, for the students who participate in the boot camps and do the online tutoring, the Edgenuity, is great. A lot of the students who rank into the program have gone through both, through the online tutoring and through the boot camps. Okay, and so what is a boot camp? Well, it's a free online refresher session. It's online for now, because we're still kind of like getting out of this pandemic. So a lot of these are still, all of them are still online. Hopefully, we can have in-person boot camps coming up next semester. But for now, for the fall, all the boot camps are going to be online still. Okay, they're usually 4 to 5 days, 2 hours per day, and they're taught by EPCC faculty, and they review TSIA2 and TEAS content. It is a very concise review, and it is intended for students who are a few points away from placing into college level courses in the case of the TSI, or who are close to ranking, a few points from ranking into the programs in the case of the TEAS. And so the TSI boot camps are available for math, reading, and writing, and the TEAS boot camps are available for math, reading, writing, biology, and chemistry. Okay, now who can register for the TSI? students who have previous TSI or TSIA2 scores. If you are taking the TSI for the first time, you can't take a boot camp because we have to measure how many points are you away from testing into college level. And so if you're very far away, or if you've never taken the TSI before, then the boot camp is not going to help you because it is a very short review and very concise review. Um, Also, the students who are trying to rank into the nursing program, a student has to have a TEAS exam appointment date already confirmed. And so they provide us with a confirmation receipt from ATITs, and those students can participate in the TEAS bootcamp. If they do not have a TEAS exam date already set, they're encouraged to set one in the future, preferably after they participated in the bootcamp. And so let's say, for example, that you're ranking in October. If you can schedule your TEAS exam in November or December, then you will benefit a lot more by taking the boot camp, the TEAS boot camp in October. But if you are taking the boot camp in October and your TEAS exam in September, then you're late, there. So yeah, preferably the students are encouraged to take the boot camp before they take their actual TEAS exam. Okay. Now the bootcamp process. Usually we publish the bootcamp schedule online in our social media. If you don't follow us on Instagram or Facebook yet, go ahead and do so. And we post the bootcamp dates there every semester. And we also post other stuff on our social media, to keep the students abreast of what's going on with prep. So you contact prep for assistance, you speak to one of the advisors, and you select your sessions that you want to attend. If you are a nursing student and you have not registered for an ATITs exam, then visit the ATI website, register for the exam, preferably in the future, preferably after your TEAS bootcamp, and then register for a bootcamp. We will not allow you to register for a TEAS bootcamp if you have not registered for a TEAS exam. Okay, complete the registration process by completing a registration form, a continuing education registration form, and then you submit it to Prep for processing. We do the legwork of registering the student ourselves online. There's a lot of students who see the payment section on the continuing education registration form, and they say, hey, wait a minute, I thought the bootcamp was free. Why is there a payment section? Well, that's the way the form is developed by the continuing education department. Our bootcamps are free, so students don't have to worry about filling that section out. So we tell students to omit that section. You visit testing services to schedule your TSI, or you go to ATI, to schedule your test, and then you attend all your sessions and retest. Okay, so that is very important that you attend all your sessions. Why? Because let's say, for example, that you register for a biology bootcamp that's Monday through Friday, and on Monday you celebrated the Cowboys' victory too hard on Sunday, and you don't show up for the Monday bootcamp. More than likely, that instructor is not going to accept you into the bootcamp on Tuesday, because you have to attend all sections. Okay, same thing goes with Taco Tuesday. Let's say you go to the Monday bootcamp, and then on Tuesday you decide to partake in Taco Tuesday and skip the bootcamp. And on Wednesday you probably won't be allowed in the bootcamp anymore because you didn't attend every session. So it is very important that when a student register for a bootcamp, they are ready and committed to attend every day of the bootcamp. Okay, not just pick and choose whenever you can. Okay. And so how to contact us, okay? I'm over at the best campus in the district. I'm over at the Mission del Paso campus, okay? I know that the people at Valle Verde like to brag about their new buildings and stuff, but actually, the Mission del Paso campus is is the best one, okay? I mean, we do have a new building too, okay? And it's a smaller campus, but the people here are great. The students are awesome, and so no, I didn't get my start at TM. I got my start at Valle Verde, okay? And TM was great, okay? TM was awesome too. I mean, every campus for me has been great, except for Northwest, because by the time that I got to Northwest, I forgot where I was going. I live over here in the Lower Valley, and driving to Northwest every day, by the time that I got to Artcraft, I forgot where I was going. Okay, but yeah, I'm at the Mission del Paso campus. I'm in room E108. That's where the visitor parking is, and it's the education building. Rio Grande, that's where I got my start. That's where I actually met my first wife and my fifth wife. So I don't know about Rio Grande. I don't want to go back to Rio Grande. I don't want to get married again. But Rio Grande is a great campus. I mean, they've done a lot of. No, don't. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So yes, sir, Carlos. I am the legendary guitarist and vocalist for that band. But anyway, so Rio Grande is a great campus. They've done a lot of upgrades to that campus. It was my favorite for a long time until I came out to Mission del Paso. Trans Mountain is over there, for all the Northeast folks. Trans Mountain is a great campus. We're inside it says inside counseling, but we're not there anymore. We're inside the library, where tutorial services is. And, we're there with LRC, yeah, LRC 1406. I forgot what the name of the building was, LRC 1406. Valle Verde, we're in the Student Services building in S147. And also our prep lab is in A1415. Northwest at M68D, and Rio Grande at A250. Okay, so you can contact any of the advisors at any of those campuses, and we'll help you out. Another way that you can contact us is if you log into Blackboard, and just keep in touch with whoever is on Blackboard at that time. Okay. Yes, Trans Mountain has a new office. Liz is fortunate to be there with Roger and the crew. So you missed her by that much. Any questions? Comments? Okay, so Blackboard, that's if you go to the main prep page on the EPCC webpage, you can just click on the Connect with Us button, and it'll take you to the Blackboard right there. Okay, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, I'm the one who moderates those pages, and so I'm always trying to look for material to share. So let's say, for example, Carlos, you're over there at the library, and you want to share something with all of us. Tag us, and then we'll share that information also. Okay, any other questions?
Is there any more questions for Mr. Rivera? All right, it looks like no questions. I would like to take a moment to thank you, Mr. Rivera, for presenting for us today on behalf of the PrEP program. I think you did a wonderful job. I could listen to your voice all day. It was awesome. Very pleasant. And then
Just don't ask me to sing.
Mr. Arreola would like to let us know that for Trans Mountain, Liz Sandoval is available on extension 5101. Anyway, once again, I'd like to thank you for presenting today. I would like to thank the audience for being here today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Real quick, before we let you go, I'll go ahead and share next week's TVEs. So next week in the same link at 11 a.m., we will be going over the exam reviews for Math 1314 and Math 1324. And then SSSP program will be visiting us because they are making some family-friendly spaces at EPCC. Thank you all for coming today and have a wonderful weekend.